Oh, this morning the Tampa Bay Partnership hosted Representative Dana Young, and we reviewed and recapped the legislative session. So here with me today is Michelle Robinson, who chairs our public policy for the Tampa Bay Partnership, and Ron Pierce, who works up in Tallahassee for the Tampa Bay Partnership. So what I'd like to do is ask them kind of give us a quick overview of what they took from this morning's session, what they thought about the legislative session overall, and we'll ask the same thing for Ron. But Michelle, we'll start with you.
Okay, a couple of thoughts. One, I think now more than ever, the legislative delegation, both for the Bay Area and statewide, really know who the partnership is, what our key objectives are, and what we're trying to do for economic development in the Tampa Bay region. I would also say that given that 7 out of the 10 recommendations provided to the legislature by the partnership when it comes to economic development were adopted, and so it created a great opportunity, a great step forward in allowing us to do some wonderful things for this region.
Yeah, I was certainly impressed today with looking at the government reorganization, and Ron, you went through quite a bit of detail about that. What are the highlights of that government reorganization and how it will impact economic development?
Well, I think there's two major things that happened this year for economic development that are very important. First is a dedicated funding source for economic development, specifically the SEED Fund, which starting in July of 2012 will have $125 million specifically dedicated for economic development, and also the reorganization of economic development as a whole, having the new Department of Economic Opportunity, and basically having portions of DCA, OTED, and AWI under one umbrella. And the importance of that, John, is having one single voice for economic development in the state, and having the new department, having the new Secretary of Commerce kind of be the spokesperson for the state when it comes to economic development projects for Florida.
Good. One of the things that impressed me today was listening to Representative Young and the kind of what I call the water she was able to carry for the state and for us here. And Michelle, do you want to mention just a couple of the big items that Representative Young was able to accomplish?
Absolutely. She was able to help Moffitt get some funding. I think that was very difficult for them to come by in a very tough budget year. Also able to help with USF and do some other things that are important to the region.
And I also think that the port, in terms of the security with the port, was one of the other things. So it's great to have Representative Young, who represents South Tampa, to be such an important player and a friend of the Tampa Bay Partnership. Any other recap from either one of you before we sign off?
I would just add that this session, I think, and what came out of it really sets things up nicely for us to begin to execute on some of our economic development strategies, as well as paint a clear picture for what we're going to have to pursue in future sessions from a public policy perspective.
And I can tell you, it's never too early to start working on the 2012 legislative session, because remember, with reapportionment, redistricting, next year's session is going to start in January as opposed to March, which means committee weeks will probably start in September, with session being in January and February, entering the first week in March.
Thank you very much. And for our investors, we certainly have opportunities for you to associate yourself with elected officials, to be part of the partnership's initiatives. So talk to Ron Pierce, talk to Michelle Robinson, Katie Franco, Michael Marino. These folks can get you in touch with the meetings that are upcoming with our elected officials. So thank you very much.